Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Thames. I'm Talley, co-founder, co-creator, and of course, co-director. Now, as you all know, today is our first episode for our segment number 2 or segment 2. And of course, I will be talking about fashion stylists and of course the editors, fashion editors, magazines or whatever is there. But I was meant to talk about Anna Wintour, the queen of fashion editor, the iconic Anna Wintour. However, I made a change just the last minute today. That's why I'm late. I thought I'll talk about Andre Leon Talley. Andre Leon Talley, born in October 16, 1948, until January 18, 2022. And of course, that's when he passed away. He's a well-known American fashion journalist, stylist, creative director, author, and editor-at-large for Vogue magazine or of Vogue magazine. He was the magazine fashion news director from 1983 to 1989, its first African-American male creative director from 1988 to 1995. And then, and its editors-at-large from 1998 to 2013, often regarded as a fashion icon. Yes, of course, he's a fashion icon. If you know more about him, which I will talk about him now, is that Andre Leon Talley helped people like John Galliano. Also helped a lot of fashion designers, but very close to the oldest designers like Karl Lagerfeld, the iconic designers, creative directors in the whole entire world. And so, he is iconic. He was known for supporting emerging designers and advocating for diversity in the fashion industry, which the capes, caftans, and robes became his trademark. Now, I've spoken about trademark like Karl Lagerfeld in the past, but the trademarks for you is, as a person, whoever, whatever that may be, it's your presentation, it's the way you dress, it's the way you present yourself. That is your trademark or personal branding. Do it. Now, Talley also served on the judging panel for the American Next Top Model from cycle 14 to cycle 17. He was pretty big there too. And of course, if you all know, it's Tyra Banks who won that, started that. Another person I'm going to talk about, but not today. Talley was also an editor-at-large of Numero Russia in 2013, rising due to the anti-LGBT laws in Russia. He basically resigned or left the role in Russia. At the time, of course, LGBTQ community was not a big thing in Russia. I'm not too sure if it's still the same or changed a little bit. Do some Google and find out more about it. He once served as stylist for the United States President Barack Obama and also First Lady Michelle Obama during their time in the White House, as well as styling Melania Trump for her wedding to Donald Trump in 2005. In 2020, France awarded him the Chevalier de l'Ordre des Arts, and the following year, he received the North Carolina Award for his role in literature. He was featured in the documentaries The First Monday in May and the September issues, and was the subject to the documentary The Gospel According to Andre, directed by Kate Novick. Now let's talk about the Vogue magazine September issues. Now that's the biggest month of the Vogue magazine. It's the sales. It's what do you call it? It reached targets. It reached it goes beyond the glass roof with the sales, with the popularity, and everybody talks about it. Back at the time, not sure if it still is now because time has changed. Magazines are not as such a big thing anymore, but Vogue magazine still exists. Online especially, I believe it is. Andre is the son of Alan Ruth Davis and William Carroll Talley, a taxi driver, of course. So He came from parents that possibly have no styles, possibly have no sense of image when it comes to fashions, correct? But wait to hear more. He grew up in the Jim Crow era South where segregation defined social boundaries. His early love of fashion was nurtured by his grandmother, a field cultivated upon this discovery of Vogue magazines between the age of 9 or 10. Talley was educated in Hillside High School, graduating in 1966 in North Carolina Central University, where he graduated with the Bachelor of Arts in French Literature in 1970. He won a scholarship to Brown University, where he earned a Master of Arts in French Literature in 1972. So he basically started there, right? He studied fashion, he studied arts and everything else, and that turns into something more, something better, something different than what he studied. But I do believe that he learned fashion from his grandmother, who is the, what do you call it? She's a cleaner for some reason, she's a cleaner. But it's not because of that, it's because of the way she dresses to church. You know, it's really popular for people like us, our Pacific Island culture, Polynesian culture. Perhaps I'll just talk about Pacific culture. The church, the women's wearing big hats, wearing great clothes and big hats. And of course, in America, the African American ladies dress up for church. I think that's actually fantastic. It's quite brilliant. Hopefully they go back to all of that. Now, career-wise, of course, through his students' connection he made in Providence, Rhode Island, he apprenticed and paid for Diane Vreeland. Now, I mentioned this lady before, Diane Vreeland. However, I will talk about her in the future, just not now, but I will talk about her for sure, 100%. Now, throughout impressed by his skills, the Vogue editor arranged Talley to work at Andy Warhol's factory and interview magazines for $50 a week. I'm not too sure if $50 a week was a lot back then. It is not a lot these days, but if it is a lot those days, so that's fantastic. $100 a week, I think it's even better. He went on to write for Women's Wear Daily, becoming its Paris bureau chief, and W magazine from 1975 through 1980. He also worked for the New York Times, Ebony, and other publications before finally landing at Vogue, where he worked as the fashion news director from 1983 to 1987, and later as the magazine's first African-American male creative director from 1988 to 1995. He pushed top designers to feature more black models in their shows. At the time, of course, back in those days, black models, Asian models, or South American or brown, black, Asian models were not as popular because the casting directors for fashion shows always cast the white models. I don't see anything wrong with casting the white models. What I do have a problem with or issue with is that there is no black or colored or Asians, because fashion exists everywhere in the world. You see what I mean? China, Asia, fashion is super popular. They don't have a fucking choice but to do so. Africa is now becoming a hub for fashions, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and better thanks to the Chinese for making that happen. Although it took the European a long time to make that happen. It's a bit too late now, isn't it? Anyway, let's get back to fashion. These days, of course, fashion is much more cultural based, much more cultural in terms of the diversity. A lot more black models, a lot more Asian models, a lot more South American models. And of course, we must have the white models because that's what makes it cultural, the diversity. So for those who are doing casting for your for fashion brands, don't forget to fucking hire it colored or any race. It doesn't matter. He left his role as creative director at Vogue while continuing to serve a contributing editor in order to move to Paris in 1995 to work for W magazines in 1998. He returned to Vogue as the editor-at-large, a position he held until his departure in 2013 to pursue another editorial venture. Now, he did mention something about what do you call it? Anna Wintour. That Anna Wintour did not create his career. No, she didn't. She did help. She did what do you call it? Pushed his career further up. If you don't, for those who don't know Anna Wintour, she is the queen of fashion editors. It's very simple. She's fantastic. She's brilliant. She's amazing. Her brain is, I don't know, but nobody can actually reach or read her brain. You know what I mean. In 2008, Talley advised the Obama family on fashion, while also styling Michelle Obama of the first Vogue cover. Now, I saw that cover of Michelle Obama for Vogue magazine, or the American Vogue. It was fucking fantastic. It was fucking amazing. Absolutely class act, A-class, if you know what that means. And if you don't, I'm sorry about that. But if you do, well, hello. Talley's later pairing with the designer Tracy Reeves, Rachel Roy, and singers-actress Jennifer Hudson, of course. He also starred Melania Trump, for her wedding to Donald Trump in tour in 2005. From March 2010 to December 2011, Talley served on the judging panel for American Next Top Model, Cycle 14 to Cycle 17, as mentioned. And of course, in January 2017, he blogged Trump integration with New York Times columnist Maureen Dowd. In April of that year, Talley began hosting his own radio show centered on fashion and pop culture on Sirius XM satellite station Radio Andy. Talley is the subject of documentary film The Gospel According to Andrew. You have to read that book. It's actually a brilliant book. I've read it, I've seen it, and it's absolutely fantastic. Directed by Kate Novick, that's the book itself, which was screened in September 2016 at the Toronto Film Festival and was released in the US on May 25th, 2018. Now, fashion editor, it's such a big role. It's like the creative director for a fashion brand, except you are the creative director or the fashion editor for a magazine's. You know, magazines got tons and tons and millions of what you call sponsorship. People that actually pay for the advertisement. And when they pay the big bucks, they have the power to say something or to put someone on the cover, like what happened to Naomi Campbell, of course. Naomi Campbell was not put on the cover. She pushed herself to get the cover, and she got the cover because she was, friends and close friends with all the top designers that actually paid megabucks for advertisements in a magazine or magazines. So what is his legacy? What is Andre Leon Talley's legacy? As a fashion journalist, he spent 6 decades earning his respect and acclaim within the fashion industry, although he has often been regarded by many, as I mentioned before, the icon. Now, I think he also helped advance the careers of Black American designers, including Laquan Smith. Now, Laquan Smith to me is the young Tom Ford. American design, of course, yes. The young Tom Ford. His style is very clean. His style is very sexy. It's very revealing at the same time. He's pretty much selling sex, like Tom Ford did for Gucci. And absolutely fantastic Brilliant. Now, coming to almost the last part of the conversation, of course, he was also instrumental in running the career of John Galliano, as mentioned before, to cutting-edge designers back in 1994, of course. That the show that resulted is still talked about as a watershed in the career of Andre Leon Talley was instrumental in helping to get designers back to its feet. That is John Galliano, of course. Not only did he connect Galliano with the new backer and range to show at Sau Sklimmenberger home. I don't know how to pronounce that German name, but it is a name. He recalls that he did everything from going to McDonald's runs for the staff and serving as an usher at the show. American designer Rick Owens credits Talley with helping him launch his career in the fashion industry after being introduced by Talley to Anna Wintour. Now, back to Anna Wintour. When someone like Talley, now Laurel, introduce you to Anna Wintour, that is something. It is definitely a step up of your career as a designer or even as a celebrity in the fashion industry. But we'll talk and focus on fashion designers. When you get introduced to editors, writers, journalism, especially editors, you made it. You will become a big deal. Suddenly, the death of Andre Leon Talley. Talley died from complications of heart attack in a hospital in the White Palms, New York, January 18, 2022, at the age of 73. So he's pretty much past the middle age. He's pretty much completed his life with his career in the fashion industry. He's pretty much done everything. He's lived his life. We're all here to live our life, right? Whether it's a fashion designer, whether it's a creative director, whether it's an event director. It is your goal to do so. It is your goal to become the person that you want to be. Align yourself with the universe. If you believe in the universe, align that with it. Because you never know. You could be something brilliant in the future. Now, a lot of people actually comment or mentioned, attributed their part of their lives or had some contribution to, or contribute to, or tribute, sorry. A lot of celebrity tributes themselves to Andre Leon Talley, of course. Michelle Obama, for example, posted, Andre Leon Talley was one-of-a-kind presence who changed the face of fashion and beauty for generations of girls just like me or just like you. He will be missed, but I know his legacy will continue inspiring people for years to come. Mariah Carey herself, now this is another queen in the music industry. Love this lady so much, Mariah Carey. Also posted on Twitter, fashion elegant giant has fallen. Emancipated from the troubles of this world, land softly and safely by my friend into the loving arms of Almighty God. Rest in power and grace, Andre Leon Talley. Bette Midler stated, of course, because she was really close to Andre Leon Talley, he did help her too. Fashion's elegant giant has fallen. No, apology. I'm sorry to say the extraordinary Andre Leon Talley has died. He was such a force and believed in the magic of fashion and its illusions with all his being. His life was a saga of great highs, great lows, the dramatics, the ridiculous or the ridiculous, and the endless pursuit of beauty, love, and rip. R.I.P. That's from Bette Midler. Towards the end of 2020, supermodern dear friend of Leon Talley, Naomi Campbell, authored a tribute to Talley in The Guardian titled Andre Leon Talley, Remembered by Naomi Campbell, in which she detailed in personal effort or effect he had on her life and the lives of those around him. Other figures who paid tribute to Talley included Beyoncé, Viola Davis, Diane von Furstenberg, Kris Jenner, Kim Kardashian, Oprah Winfrey, Jeremy O. Harris, Edward Hemingfield, the creative director or the editor, used to be the fashion magazine editor for the London Vogue, and of course Rihanna. I'm going to say Oprah Winfrey again. Talley's memoir, The Chiffon 20s, topped Amazon fashion bestsellers chart and sold out at several bookstores following the news of his death. In 2023, during her Super Bowl halftime show performance, Rihanna paid tribute to Talley by wearing a full-length red Alaya puffer similar to the Normana Kamali Speedling bank coat he wore. Now, listen to my powerful summary on Andre Leon Talley. I mentioned a few of them, of course, before, but this is the way I see it, the way I think it, the way I believe, because I followed Andre Leon Talley for a very, very long time, many years, when I was again introduced to the fashion industry. And this is when I worked for Marilyn Sandy Scottis as the apprentice, and I was pretty much doing tremendous work, a lot of work for the brands itself. Fashion icon worldwide, larger than life, an experience of a lifetime which mostly dedicated to the fashion industry. What I mean by this though? He is a human being with the eyes and ears of details. His status didn't overshadow him, but he allowed his knowledge and his experience traveled miles ahead and direct him to his future. You see, if you are a creative director, it doesn't matter what form of industry that is. It is ideal. It is totally up to you to create your future, to create your success. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your ship. Don't let anybody dim your lights. But don't also have an ego, because ego comes with evil. Ego comes with, you know what I mean? God bless everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I'm Talley, co-founder, co-creator, co-director, of course. YouTube, subscribes at the bottom, follow us, of course. There's 2 more weeks left until Christmas, or 24 days until Christmas. And of course, I'm flying out to Australia, Sydney, Christmas, and of course, New Year's. It's everything for us. Have a blessed evening. Take care. See you next Sunday.